You are the master of your fate, and until you can fully grasp this truth, true success will always elude you, right? This is fully a note to myself, and the idea that I'm meditating on this week, right, is I need to come to terms with the fact that I am in full control of my life experience, and it's very difficult to accept ownership of one's life if where you are right now is not a place that you are proud of. I believe our destiny is not dictated by chance, luck, or external things, right? It is shaped by our own thoughts and actions of today. You could potentially say, you were born to do this or that, and there's sometimes I throw that term, but I have decided to believe that. And so by taking action and changing my own thoughts, I've decided to manipulate my reality to better suit the outcomes that I'm looking for, right? And so the reality you live in right now is the sum total of every decision you made and every belief that you've held in the past, right? If you want to believe it's possible to create a better life for yourself, you need to come to terms with the fact that you have also created your current one, your current reality. And it is difficult to come to terms with that if you are not happy with where you are, right? If you are not in a good financial state, if you're obese, if you don't have any friends, whatever the case may be. But that's the thing, right? You can't believe it's possible to take control of your life if you don't believe that you are the reason where you are today. Because how are you going to give yourself permission or the authority to take control of your life if you didn't believe you were in control in the first place? And so you have to make that switch.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I want to show you guys what I've been working on for the past couple of days. This has been something I've been working on actually for the past year and 6 months, but I really think it's sort of coming close to it's really like a really good thing. Okay, so this is the structure Andrew and I will be using to make $100,000 a month at 75% profit margins within the next 12 months, if not sooner, right? This is more like at the very, very worst, okay? This is an exceptional structure, right? Like, this is so crazy to me. This is even a thing. And this 100% makes sense, right? Just via the numbers and looking at it from a non-emotional perspective, right? And I think what I'm trying to convey here is, right, because, I don't want to dive too deep into this, but it essentially comes down to, compounding. When you are in a situation where you're building a business or building, for example, like the school community, right? This is what I'm talking about when we're scaling, right? With the agency, we got that business, but also the info product, which we're trying to scale and get to 100K a month, right? So within the next 12 months, we'll hit 100K a month through this product. And it's such an inspiration. Like, I'm so excited, right? Like, when last have you been excited about the work that you've done? Right? I sit here and I'd done the work. I had nothing on my calendar planned today. And so I just sat down. I'm like, cool. Let's really build out this thing. Let's finish this thing and see how far we can come with it, right? And because this will evolve and get better as time progresses, right? But after the day's work today, it was the most satisfying feeling. I'm like, fuck yeah, like this is going to change a lot of people's lives, and by extension will make a lot of money. But this product that we are building is going to be so good. It's going to be the number one product in South Africa, 100%, no doubt. We already have the largest community in South Africa for entrepreneurs, right? So we help people scale and build their online agencies and give them our protocols to sustain it. There's no community out there like this, especially if you're South Africa. There's no reason for you not to join this, okay? School of Athens, our founders acquisition, free community on school. But nonetheless, what I'm trying to convey is that, Chris Williams said, if you're good at doing something you don't like, imagine how great you would be in something that you have true passion for. And I never really understood that until recently, right? I truly love what I do. And I wake up, I don't want to do everything, right? But now I'm sitting here and I'm amped to build this thing. And it's going to take me 12 more months to really see my goal and to see it in fruition, right? Maybe more, maybe even a little bit less, but the progression to that, slowly but surely building it step by step by step, is so amazing. We've built out this product in a year and 3 months, I think. And just look at the growth on this. Here we go. Look at the progression. In 30 days, in a month, we grew 1,000 members in our community. That is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And it's so satisfying to see people winning in here, to see people making a future for themselves they're proud of, to see the testimonials coming out of this, right? We actually recently formed a testimonial with our friend James, who made 83,000 Rand in 90 days. It's ridiculous. And he started from scratch, right? Just like everybody else. Go and have a look at this video potentially. But yeah, so exciting to build out something that I'm truly passionate about. Now, I hope that my energy on this call this video can convey that to you. Is it's worth chasing your dreams. And I want to share a quote that I've read recently. The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progression depends on the unreasonable man. I want to convey this idea to you. Become unreasonable, right? Demand excellence from yourself and the world. If the world cannot conform, if you cannot conform to the world, then bend the world until it conforms to you. We were not made to, just submit to the world and to not stand out and to, be in the shadows. We were here to essentially be the light of this world, right? As children of the Lord, right? We are here to set an example to people. And so no matter how you look at it, we will stand out. And so by extension, you are born as an unreasonable man. So demand the world to bend to your essential, like true inner desire and purpose, which will always be linked to serving other people, right? Because that dream, I believe, to be godly. And in all things that comes through God, right, it comes down to serving others and to love the people around. Like, that's truly what I believe, right? My God-given purpose is, what do I see in life that brings me a sense of joy or excitement when I work on it, that serves other people and that makes me good money? That, to me, is a fucking great thing to pursue, right? So, yeah. That's the idea I want to convey in this segment.
So tell me exactly I'm building out something fucking awesome. What I want to show you guys, I want to get some feedback from you guys as well. But give me the entire rundown of what the product is now that you guys are working on together.
You gonna take it?
Yeah, no, you go.
Okay, yeah. So basically, we're building the AI receptionist for Pilates studios. We're focusing on Pilates now. That's our niche. And then basically we help with the AI assistants and with the AI receptionist. So the bottleneck obviously of Pilates studios are they're not usually answering phones. And the AI receptionist answers all the phones, and it also make the meetings or the classes, it books them for the clients. So it's gonna save up time. They're gonna spend, they're gonna save so much money. Because I think, like Jana said, like they are losing like $5,000 because they don't answer always the phone.
And that product is a fairly plug and play type of thing, right? It's like you have a thing that works and you just personalize it per client that you have, and then you probably charge a high like setup fee and then like a recurring retainer for maintenance or whatever.
Yeah. The setup fee and the monthly, yes.
Okay. If you
but we're still thinking of an offer. We're still thinking of an offer. Just to make the offer so good, it's impossible to say no to.
I mean, Jana, correct me if I'm wrong, bro, but this sounds very similar to what Isaac and them are doing. It's just they're doing it for restaurants too, like not exactly the same, but
so like we added a different thing. So like they're mainly taking inbound calls and like adding like the
you guys
orders
doing
and
outbound as well.
So we're doing inbound calls, but we are also like doing follow-ups, like so that the Pilates, the people that book their classes don't actually forget about the classes. So they're also going to get follow-up messages to make sure that they go to the classes, as well as they are going to have like a message afterwards. So just to make sure that they're happy with it, so that they have like the Pilates studios can have higher retention.
Okay.
Yeah, we're building an experience, Quentin. Like, it's gonna be insane. Because
I really think you guys should take a day or two and go to a local Pilates studio and spend a day there. Just fucking be there. Just hear what's happening, or how is the calls going? Like, what are their main issues? Like, potentially, James, with someone that you are currently have or doing work with or have, then you can potentially form an in-person testimonial as well. While you're there. But the reason why I'm saying that is because
really understanding the market and your client is going to be an extremely valuable thing. And that's something that I'm trying to do now as well. Isaac and Adam and Kavia, when we interviewed them, that was actually one of the main things they would have recommended everybody doing in the first 3 months if you build a new product, especially if you don't have capital, right? If you have capital to a large degree, you just get a market expert in that field to just come and fucking convey information to you, right? But if you don't have that, you have time. So go and spend time in the market. That could be a pretty cool thing. Just spend like a day or two, fucking potentially even go and like answer the phone calls, right? Like it sounds stupid, but like that would be, because then you know, like how do they respond? What do they want to hear? What are the problems that's coming through? That could be pretty cool. We're out in the shooting range with my boy Dian. How you doing, Boski? What are you taking us through today? What are we doing?
We're going to do some pistol 308 on an AR frame and then some shotgun as well. It's going to be fun.
Andrew is dressed to impress, yeah, I see. Damn, the full fit.
Okay, welcome you guys. So just some basic safety rules. We're going to use that little stick there as a firing line. So when anyone is on range with a weapon in hand, all the rest of you please stand behind this can. Don't come in front of the firing line. Secondly, any weapon you handle, you can't point upwards over the beam, down on the ground, or turn around with it. So it has to look forward at all times. So when you have, whether it's the AR, the shotgun, anything, pistol, you just shoot until you're done, and then you keep it showing forward. Don't turn around with the firearm. And yeah, that's basically it.
First time on the shooting range?
Yeah.
What are we thinking?
Yeah.
Nervous?
I am
Guns looking big?
I have to get big stars. I can't miss.
You play COD? You play Call of Duty before? Games? Not really.
I've done paintball.
Paintball. Okay.
Did quite. I was the guy that collected the flag.
Andrew, how does this does Fortnite skills carry over in your life?
Call of Duty for sure. First time was actually in Thailand, and I had like 2 bullseyes. No, that was very nice. Very good.
Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. There's so many things that happen to us on a day-to-day basis, right? Where we are born, what family, the situation, financial situation, culture, country, whatever we are born in, we don't have control over that. But we have control over how we react to those things internally. No one can force a reaction out of you without your permission. And so by realizing that, you realize, if I'm irritated or mad, or like at some level I've decided to do so, and I've given these emotions or people outside of me control over me. And there's power in realizing that emotion, right? I think someone said, probably Socrates, right? You can put me in a prison, but you can't make me suffer. Something down that line. What a beautiful thing to say. And so a powerful question I want to ask you is, will you believe that life has simply happened to you, that you are a passive participant in your own existence? Or will you awaken to your own power, right? Will you take control and recognize that everything around you is energy that bends and molds itself according to your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions, right? This is a note to myself, a meditation almost, is a reminder that wherever whatever I embed and put energy and thought and emotion and belief in is what will manifest itself in my life. And so I need to become very careful as to what I lend my attention to. Focus is extremely important. What you focus on will completely alter and change your life. Your environment, your peace, your state of mind, your happiness is a reflection of what you hold in your mind. Your reality is created by what you believe and how you perceive things. All right, so I'm trying to just find the podcast that I listened. Here we go. David Senra. So first of all, for those of you who don't know who he is, David Senra, go and have a look at his new pod. He's got his original podcast called Founders Podcast. It's absolutely exceptional, right? So his main thing is he reads biographies of great founders, and then he does an episode per book that he's read. So Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and now he started a new podcast where he actually interviews some of these founders. And the one that I listened to, we interviewed the founder of Spotify, was exceptional. I highly recommend you go and have a look at it. And the main takeaways that I took from that is twofold. First of all, this gave me a lot of comfort, right? The founder of Spotify, which is a highly, I think he's worth 10 billion, right? US, it's ridiculous, right? He's extremely successful. And he said there's different archetypes of entrepreneurs, different ways how people operate. You got the Steve Jobs, but you got the Elon Musks, right? Then you got the Bill Gates and you got the Warren Buffetts. There's different ways how people work and tend to work through life and what they value, right? But if you're an archetype of an entrepreneur, you're going to tend to value your mission and you're going to find a lot of purpose and passion through your work, right? Which is probably all of us watching. So knowing that macro level, on the micro, we operate differently. And so if you're an entrepreneur, the archetype, the chances are that this would be very true to you, but it doesn't mean it's a pure mission statement for everyone, right? There's a lot of people that won't benefit from this, but if you're an entrepreneur, you should optimize for impact over happiness, because happiness is a lagging indicator of impact, right? And so that's 100% what I believe to be true, right? It's amazing to hear this from that great founder. If you serve other people and you put that at your core, Start From Why from Simon Sinek. Where's that book? So this is a great book. Everyone should go and read this book as well. It's from Simon Sinek, Start With Why. And essentially the main idea of this book is to figure out why you're doing what you're doing. And what I think it's Daniel Ek is this guy's name, the founder of Spotify. His main thing is if you're a founder and you operate from a why of impact, you will be successful no matter what, because then you wake up and you can pursue through the friction of how terribly difficult it is to be a founder, to build something great, because you know that it's not about me, right? It's about impacting others, it's about serving others, it's about bringing out the best of people, depending on what your product is or what your mission is, right? And so I find that to be completely true in my own life. As soon as I started putting other people at the center of why I do things, I would be willing to pursue through the friction more than if it was just for myself and out of pride. Whereas if it comes from honor, at a place of serving the Lord and the people around me to improve them, it's a different ball game, right? I really think that the true essence of happiness, or a deep sense of purpose and meaning, is on the other side of serving people. What would be the first hire you make to buy more leverage, outreach, or slash setters?
Yeah, it's to outsource the marketing, as to get yourself an email team or setter team wherever you do your outreach, emails or DMs. Get yourself a setter or someone who sends sources and sends emails, without a doubt. That saves you 4 hours a day. No, actually way more, 6 hours a day. And here's what I think about it. People, my parents used to say, oh, well, why would you give money to someone? Why not just do it yourself and save that money? That's a completely wrong mindset, completely wrong. Essentially, let's say they save you 6 hours a day, okay? 6 hours a day, sourcing the leads, recording the emails, and sending the emails, doing the follow-up. 6 hours a day. Over a week, over 5 days, there's 30 hours. And over 4 weeks in a month, that is 120 hours a month they are saving you, right? And 120 hours, okay? Let's say you like Naval says, you need an aspirational hourly rate. Let's say, like he said, his one was $10,000.
That was good. I did this exercise as well,
an aspirational hourly rate. But then you just outsource everything to that. But that's a bit crazy. Let's just say $100 an hour. Let's just say that. Okay, that's not aspirational whatsoever. That's terrible. And then how do I say 120 hours? So you are essentially spending, if your hourly rate is $100 an hour, and you are saving or you're spending 120 hours doing outreach, you are essentially spending $12,000 a month on wasted potential. If you can outsource that to your email team for $1,000, you are saving $11,000 a month in hours that you would have spent. Does that make sense? Right? Like, and that's with $100 an hour. Imagine $1,000 an hour aspirational rate. You're spending $120,000 on outreach per month. If you can outsource that for 1,000, that's an absolute no-brainer every single time.
Very important caveat to that. I think an added part to that is now you have time that you bought back. You better use that time correctly, right? Like you're evaluating your time to a certain amount. If you're buying back your time and now you're just doing nothing, your business won't grow. Like now you bought back that time. So now focus on sales, like focus on the more build out the business. Like that's what Andre did, right?
If you're unsatisfied with where you are, start envisioning a new reality, right? This could be a thing. Hold that vision in your mind relentlessly and watch how the pieces begin to align, right? Smell it, see it, hear it. It's that idea of wanting to have a certain car and then always seeing that car on the road for the next 4 months until you buy that car. Are there more of these type of cars on the road? Of course not. But your brain only has a certain amount of focus and energy it can put into certain avenues. And so by becoming focused and clear on what you want, your brain will bring these things out to life. It will almost highlight it, right? It will put it in a spotlight and you'll pick these things up. And so it's important. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on negative things, right? So for me right now, I need to focus on what avenues in my business can I put my attention to that will lead to a better service of my clients? That will increase the quality of my product, that will ultimately lead to better results for my clients. That's what I'm looking for. How can I serve them even better? I shouldn't just think about, I should do this, I should work harder, I should do more volume. No, does that lead to a better service, a better product? If yes, then yes, right? So yeah, I really believe that nothing stands in your way if you possess these three things, right? Absolute conviction in yourself, unrelenting faith, and the courage to pursue what you desire. Those three things, man, that's a recipe for success. If I could just focus on three things, it would be that. Now take a moment to reflect, right? What is controlling your thoughts? Where do they come from? Does where I picked up these thoughts, do those people have my best intentions at heart, right? Like, where am I going with this? Do these thoughts benefit me? I believe that the true difference between success and failure, it's not talent, education, it's not resources, it's perspective. The successful man sees everything as an opportunity. No matter what the situation might be, he sees it as a victory, right? He carries that aura of, this thing is going to work and something positive is going to come from this thing. And when you cultivate that same mindset, nothing, no circumstance, failure, no setbacks can stop you, because you believe everything is just a stepping stone to something better. So a testimony to the value and beauty of networking, right? Because of the extensive network that I've built, because of my production experience in the production game, right? I was in the production game for about 3-4 years. I am a part of the largest community in South Africa with all the biggest production guys, especially and predominantly in Cape Town, right? So like I mentioned on the previous vlog, Andre and I are really investing heavily into the production aspect of our content, including our podcast, right? Because what we've realized is, our front end content when it comes to organic, paid ads, stuff like that, that is where all the money is at for our businesses. And so we need to really invest heavily in smoothing out the process of making it as frictionless as possible to just pump out volume, right? Because if we want to really scale the business, we just need to run more ads. To a large degree, that is the case, right? And make more content. And so if we can have a place where it's just a plug and play to just shoot, that is the way to go. And so we're actually getting someone from the that production community essentially to come out, look at the place. I gave him 2 reference points or pictures of parts that we like, Iced Coffee Hour and then Chris Williams, right? And he's essentially going to build it for us. So I'm extremely excited for that. It's going to really, really increase the value of our product and the quality of our product. And then also secondly, while today I spent a lot of time building out the sales funnel for Founders Acquisition and essentially trying to figure out how can we scale this business on an 80-20 scale, right? What is the main things and levers that we can pull
right? And I spoke with a couple of people today, including my mentor and a couple of boys in that exclusive community, Founders Acquisition as well, right? And that's the beauty of having mentorship and people around you, is because they're so unemotional. You building out a business, it's your baby, right? This is everything to you. And so you can sometimes struggle to really see the obvious things that you need to change. But jumping on a call with a mentor, with a couple of boys in the community, I realized like all the things that I was currently looking at and struggling and stressing about is actually irrelevant, right? Because what I wanted to do was just increase the spend on the ads and just increase volume. That's what Alex always says, right? But I've realized, coming back to Alex's, talk, I need a different and add a new money model. So I need to figure out, and the lowest hanging fruit here would be a recurring model. So I need to figure out how can I, in the current sales funnel and our product, how do I add a recurring product that is $300 to $400 per month, right? To increase the value of each client that we assign. Because then what that means is, if I do that, you know how much money extra I can have to spend on ads, then it makes sense to just increase the volume on the front end, right? With the current structure and the value per client, it doesn't really make sense to just increase the volume on the front end. So looking at adding a different money model or two would make sense. And the lowest hanging fruit right now is recurring and potentially doing an upsell. Later down the line, we'll do a downsell as well. We'll do a potentially look at, events and stuff like that would be part of an upsell, right? Just very excited and extremely amped. Work like this is not necessarily an ROI direct. Like today, I'm like, I don't know. Like, did it feel like I did work today? I'm not really sure. But now I realize this is the work as a founder, as a CEO, making decisions, thinking about long-term, like I did, right? Like this is where it's at. I need to figure out how do I add a recurring payment or like a recurring product in our current ecosystem. And this might take a couple of weeks to build out. But this is where the money is at. This is how you make big money, is making decisions and building out and working on things that takes time, right? I'm so used to, and especially if you come out of working for someone else, you're so used to work that it might take a week at the very longest, like projects, right? But now I'm building a never-ending project, which is the business, right? Until I decide to sell it, of course. But it's such a different mindset. And I need to focus on things that's 6 to 12 months down the line, right?
Big day.
All right, so it's moving day for Andrew. Helping me pack all his stuff, moving back to Durbanville. Moldavi has served us well, served him well, but it's time for a new chapter. And interesting times ahead. Let's see what he has to say. Moving day. Moving day.
Move out days.
Big day. Big day.
Your mind is the battleground. Win there and you win everywhere else. Cultivate a mindset and a paradigm that serves you, that does not hold you back, that does not lead you to living a life of victim mindset, right? That I'm a victim, that the world just happens to me. No, I believe the Lord does not call the qualified, He qualifies the called. I believe that I'm anointed to do what I do. Why? I've adopted this mindset because at the very core of my business, I'm serving people and I'm trying to improve others' lives. And so by extension, I'm trying to do the Lord's work through my work. And so I feel there is a otherworldly anointing and blessing over what I'm doing. And I see things just unfolding and revealing itself in a positive way to me. Ideas that I never came to previously, or partnerships, networking, people that want to do business with us. It's happening in our favor. It's almost godlike how things are unfolding for us. And I think the only reason why that is because I have decided it would be that way, and because I'm serving the Lord's people and I'm putting others at the very core of our business.
So we just hired a new closer. And the funny thing is, if you want to get a good closer, you need to be closing a respectable amount each month for a good closer to be willing to work on your offer, because he also wants to make good money, right? He's getting paid, you know, a certain amount per commission per close, right? But for you to get to a respectable amount per month, you need a good closer. So that's why, you know, predominantly one of the founders will be working on, or if you're only a solo founder, then you will predominantly be doing the sales, right? That's why all of these, you know, closer agencies, or why most people's recommendations would be, you should always be doing the closing until you make 15, 20K a month US. You know, then you can potentially look at hiring a closer to come onto your offer. But yeah, no close is going to work if your offer isn't respectable or closing a respectable amount, right? So anyways, we just onboarded him, and what I really wanted to convey on the call with him today, and what I really wanted him to know, was that our product is really client centered. You know, I want to make sure that every touch point of the business, especially and most importantly on the front end, needs to be focused on the client. I want them to be served as much as possible. And so, you know, a good closer has two things: high conviction, and then also I could predominantly say just high conviction, you know, but also he needs to understand the why behind the product, the movement, the mission statement, right? And so I think his conviction will grow the more he works on the product, and he actually has access to our product as well. So he's going to be working through the product, and then when he experiences it firsthand, his conviction will grow, right? I also told him he needs to join all the community calls. He needs to spend time in the market with the clients. He needs to understand, what questions do they ask? How do they look like? When do they eat? When do they work? How much do they work? What do they work on? What are their problems, right? This is the questions and the things that you need to do as a founder to really build something great. You need to understand the market, and so spend time in the market. Even with him now, right? He's going to be speaking to these guys on a day-to-day basis, and he's going to ask for money to close them. So he needs to understand, why should they be paying this money, right? Is the product even good? He should understand the product, but also understand the person he's trying to close. So yeah, I told him to join all the Q&A calls now, and all the calls with the team as well, and then also with the clients. And also I sort of gave him a bit of a brief rundown of the mission statement and the why behind the product. And the more he gets to know Andre and myself, the higher his conviction will grow as well, because 100%, without a doubt, I truly believe what Andre and I are building here will change the world. Well, we'll change South Africa first. But yeah, we are building something phenomenal. So any case, that's what I wanted to convey. It's a beautiful day today, outside, walking, habit stacking, and yeah, gonna get back to work.
I think if there's one thing I'm trying to focus on, is to cultivate and meditate on what the Lord tells us to do in the Bible, right? And try and beat my own thoughts in alignment with what the Lord tells us, you know? I mustn't be fearful or doubtful. You know, I'm made perfect in His image. And so any other thought or idea that is in disalignment with that, I rebuke, right? And I break that down. And I'll pray that over everybody watching this video, and I encourage you to do the same. If it's not in alignment with what the Lord has for you or tells about your life, well, then rebuke it. It's the enemy and it's not yours. So yeah, this is I hope this video could serve you, and yeah, this was a note to self.